horrifying experience in the Great Wolf Lodge. Hey everyone, just wanted to share something strange that happened during a recent trip to Great Wolf Lodge. My family and I have stayed there 3 times before without any issues, but this visit was different. And if anyone else has experienced something like this there, I'd really like to know. We booked one of the suite rooms with 2 conjoining spaces, one for the kids with bunk beds and one for us. Each room had its own door, and you could lock them from either side. Before going to bed, I checked everything. Both connecting doors locked, front door locked, windows sealed, everything secure. Around midnight, our 6-year-old son ran into our room. He was half awake, crying, visibly shaken. I asked if he'd had a bad dream, but he said no. He'd seen something. A big kid with a dark shadow was walking around, he said. I ran right past him to get here. I thought maybe it was just a dream. We calmed him down and got him to sleep next to us. Then at 3 a.m., my wife sat bolt upright in bed. "Did you hear that?" she asked, frantic. I hadn't. Someone just yelled "Mom." Really loud. She was sure of it. She asked me to go check on our daughter in the other room. I walked over, heart racing. Our daughter wasn't in bed. I found her curled up in the far corner, hyperventilating and crying. I picked her up, and she clung to me. "Be careful, Dad," she whispered. "He's still in here." I brought her back to our room immediately and locked the connecting door behind us. After she calmed down, I asked her what happened. She said she was on the top bunk when she saw someone walking toward her. At first, she thought it was me, but the closer it got, the more she realized it wasn't. "It was taller and skinnier than you," she said. "Its skin was paper white, smooth. Its neck was too long and it didn't have a face. I don't know how, but it looked at me." She hid under her blanket, terrified. She peeked out and saw it walk toward the connecting door. Our room. She said she thought it would kill her if she made a sound, so she stayed silent. She was panicking and couldn't breathe properly. She considered running out the front door, but froze. That's how I found her, hiding and trying not to scream. My wife asked her, "Then why did you yell Mom?" Our daughter looked confused. "I didn't say anything. I didn't even breathe loud." That's when things really started to feel wrong. We kept the kids with us in our room, locked the door from both sides, and left the hallway light on. My wife eventually drifted off. I stayed up. Then the closet light, left on as a nightlight, suddenly shut off. I tried turning it back on. Nothing. So I used the bathroom light instead. Not long after, loud knocking came from the connecting door. I got goosebumps. I tried to tell myself it was the front door, but I knew the sound. It was from the inside door. I debated whether to ignore it, but I couldn't just sit there. I checked. Nothing. The other room was empty, light still on, door still locked. No sign of anything. Half an hour later, my wife started thrashing in her sleep. Night terror. She's had them before, once or twice a year, but this one was intense. I woke her up and she was panicked. Said she dreamed she woke up in our room, walked to the bathroom and came out into the other room, locked in. She said I had shut her out, and the thing was inside with her. She was banging on the door, screaming for me. Thing is, I heard banging on that same door about 30 minutes before she had the dream. When the kids woke up later that morning, I asked our son to describe again what he saw. He said it looked like a tall, pale kid, white or gray skin, a long neck, big eyes that glowed like cat eyes. He said it made weird whispering sounds, like it was talking but in a language he didn't understand. He said it came up to his bed and just stared. He had no idea what his sister saw, but the descriptions lined up. Our daughter said it was faceless. He said it had glowing eyes, but she hid before it got close. He didn't. Later we went back into the kids' room to get our things. The room smelled weird, like incense. Not something strong or floral. More like those old stick incense people used to burn in the 90s. It hadn't smelled like that before. I didn't see anything with my own eyes. But I watched both of my kids have separate, vivid encounters with the same entity. I heard the knock on the door. I saw the lights go out. I saw my wife wake up to a phantom voice, then later dream of being locked in with it. I've never been the type to believe in ghosts or paranormal stuff. Still not sure I do. But this has stuck with me. I think about it a lot more than I'd like to admit. If anyone else has experienced something like this, at Great Wolf Lodge or anywhere, I'd really like to know. While running one day. In the early 1980s, well before I was born, my mom was a school teacher in Jackson, Mississippi. The job was hectic and exhausting, so every day after she got home, usually around 3 o'clock, she would change into her running gear and go for a jog. It was her routine, her time. She wasn't fast, 10-minute miles maybe, but she ran to clear her head, to stay fit, to breathe. She and my dad lived in a second-story apartment. There was one issue, the lock. The front door always stuck. Sometimes it would take 5, even 10 minutes to get it properly locked or unlocked. They talked about fixing it all the time. They just hadn't gotten around to it. That day, like always, the lock gave her trouble. She jiggled the key, wrestled the door, finally got it to seal, and then she was off. Midway through her run, a man appeared beside her. Tall, thin, curly gray hair, blue eyes. He jogged silently for a moment, then started talking. "Do you jog every day? Where do you live? Are you running far today?" At first, my mom answered politely, but the questions kept coming. They were too personal. His tone was off. Something about it made her skin crawl. She stopped responding. A few minutes later, she spotted a street she recognized, a shortcut home. She slowed, said, "I've got to go, bye," and turned down it. She didn't look back, but seconds later, she heard footsteps, heavy, fast, behind her. She ran, not a jog, not a trot, a full-on sprint. 8-minute mile pace, maybe faster. The only thing in her head was, get home, get to the door. As she reached the apartment stairs, she was praying out loud. "Jesus, Jesus, Jesus, help me." She gripped the keys in her hand, still running. In one motion, she flew up the steps, jammed the key in the door, twisted, and it opened. Right away. No sticking, no jam, no delay. She rushed inside, slammed the door, locked it, bolted it, and backed against the far wall, chest heaving, heart pounding. Then, a knock. Not a frantic knock, not a bang. Just a slow, stiff, deliberate knock. "Who is it?" she asked, her voice cracking. On the other side, the man said calmly, "You know who I am, and you know what I want." Pure terror flooded her. "You'd better leave," she yelled, "or I'll call the police." She didn't hear a response, just silence. Then, after what felt like an eternity, slow footsteps going down the stairs. She waited, didn't move, listened hard. No voices, no movement. The building was empty. Across the street was a small prayer ministry, Bethel House of God. She called them, told them what had happened, asked if someone could wait outside so she could run over. They said yes. She waited a few more minutes. Then, when she was sure, she bolted from the apartment, down the stairs, across the street into the safety of people, light, and prayer. When my dad came home an hour later, she told him everything. And after that night, the lock returned to its usual stubborn self, sticking, jamming, refusing to budge without a fight. Just that one time, it worked like a charm. Basement. I've never told this story publicly, but I need to, because even now, as an adult, I carry fear. Not of all white people, but of a certain kind. The kind who remind me of my godfather Lee. I was born in Georgia. My mother was 16. My father was 36. Legal, but not right. She left him when I was 1. He was abusive. He never hit me, but he was cold, dishonest, emotionally distant. He never said he loved me, but he loved telling stories. One story he told often was how he met Lee, early 1980s at a gas station. Lee, a white man, called him a racial slur. Later that night, my dad stopped him from getting robbed. From then on, Lee said my dad was different and became his friend, eventually his business partner. My dad even asked him to be my godfather. When I was 12, I visited my dad for the summer. One night, Lee offered me money to clean his basement. I said yes. The second I stepped downstairs, something felt wrong. The air was heavy. My skin crawled. At the bottom was a mannequin dressed in full Klan robes. The walls were covered in Confederate flags, nooses, lynching memorabilia, white power signs. I froze. Then Lee appeared behind me, smiling. "That room's off limits," he said. "Don't tell your daddy. He knows, but it don't need to be remembered." I left immediately, told my dad I was sick, asked to go home early. He didn't ask why, just drove me back. Years later, I brought it up. My dad just said, "Sometimes a man's got ghosts. As long as they don't haunt you, you let 'em be. But they do haunt." I'm still wary around certain white men. The ones who smile too fast, who say, "You're not like the others," who carry that same fake calm Lee had. Polite on the surface, but something darker underneath. And honestly, it damaged more than just my trust in white people. Hurt my trust in men. Period. Because my own father handed me to someone he knew kept hate in his basement and told me to stay quiet. I don't hate anyone, but fear learned its shape early, and it never left. I'm 36 now, and I still can't shake the images. I don't know how to stop being afraid. Trust your gut. This happened when I was around 11, sleeping over at a friend's house. His parents were out for a few hours, but they'd left us money to order pizza. We were hyped, just 2 kids, some video games, and pizza on the way. Even at that age, we were aware of creepy people. We kept our guard up. My friend was watching the window like a hawk. I was sitting next to him, half paying attention when he said, "Pizza's here." I walked toward the door, but he stopped me. "Hold on," he said. "This guy looks weird." I peeked through the window. The delivery guy looked like he was in his 40s. Tired, unshaven. Something about him was off. Not scary at first glance, just off. We opened the door together and greeted him. My friend said he had to go grab the money, and just like that, I was alone with the guy for a minute. At first, everything seemed fine. He cracked a tired joke. We talked. I let my guard down. And then I said the dumbest thing I could have said. I told him his parents aren't home. It was like flipping a switch. His whole vibe changed. The tired face tightened into something else. Something I didn't have words for then, but I understand now. His eyes lingered too long. His smile got too wide. He started asking me weird questions I won't even repeat here. Then he said, in a strange, low voice, "Hey, mind taking the pizza?" It wasn't the words. It was how he said them. Like it wasn't about the pizza. I felt him inch closer. He brushed my arm. Barely, but enough. Enough to make my instincts scream. I didn't think. I pushed him hard and slammed the door shut. Locked it fast. My friend ran over asking what happened. Before I could answer, the guy started banging on the door, hard, and yelling disgusting things no kid should ever hear. We panicked, fumbled for the phone, but we froze. I don't know if it was fear or shock or just thinking, maybe it's over now. Either way, we didn't call. A minute later, the banging stopped. He left. My friend's parents came home not long after. We told them everything. They believed us. They made sure we were okay. I couldn't sleep that night. I kept thinking, what if I had taken the pizza? What if I hadn't slammed the door? The next day we found out the neighbors had seen him leaving and gave him a not-so-friendly goodbye. They were the type of people you didn't mess with. Looking back, I'm just glad I listened to that gut feeling. I didn't hesitate. I shut the door. So if you take anything from this, let it be this. Trust your instincts. They're not paranoia, they're survival. And don't be like me. Don't let your guard down just because someone seems chill. They don't always stay that way. It knew our names. When I was 9, we lived in a remote, forested military zone. Can't say where exactly, but wildlife was part of daily life. Elephants, deer, even the occasional predator. We were used to strange sounds, but not this kind. One night, our parents had to attend a formal event. No kids allowed. So it was just me and my friend Carl, both 9, along with our little brothers Sam and Duke, around 5. We stayed at my place, put on Shrek, and tried to act like we weren't completely creeped out by the pitch-black woods outside. The house was quiet. Too quiet. At some point, the power flickered. The lights went out for a few minutes, then came back on. We were standing near the window when it happened. I heard Carl's mom calling me from outside. She used my nickname, the one only family knew. Her voice was strange, raspy, off. Cindy Tilda? Cindy? We lived on the second floor. There was no one outside, not anywhere close. I turned to Carl. Did you hear that? He looked pale. No. I heard your mom, but she was calling me. Carl? Carol Tilda? We both froze. Our moms were miles away, at a party. No one was supposed to be nearby, especially not in the pitch-dark forest outside our window. The little ones, Sam and Duke, said they heard voices too. But we thought maybe they were just copying us, or imagining things. Still, we were rattled. We locked the doors, turned the movie back on, sat close. When our parents finally got home, we told them everything. They didn't believe a word, just said we were tired, had let our imaginations run wild. Maybe we wanted to believe that too. For a while, we forgot. 9 years later, Carl and I met up again, just talking, catching up. I brought up that night, unsure if he'd even remember. He did, every detail. His brother Duke remembered it too. My brother Sam could only recall pieces, but enough to confirm it wasn't a dream. We all heard something that night, something that knew our names, our nicknames, our mother's voices. Whatever it wasn't human. And it definitely wasn't our mom's. He looked almost human. I'm 16, and I work at a local grocery store. I've been there about a year now. Since I'm still in high school, I mostly get evening shifts, usually 6 to 10, 3 nights a week. Last Wednesday started like any other. I was near the front of the store, restocking cans, just watching the clock crawl toward closing time. Around 9:30, a man walked in. He looked like he might have been in his 40s, average height maybe 5'10", pale skin, really pale, like he hadn't been outside in years. He wore a gray hoodie and black jeans. Nothing strange at first glance, but something felt off. The hoodie was too tight around his neck, like it didn't fit. The sleeves were too short. The clothes looked like they'd been put on wrong, like they weren't his. But the part that really got me was how he moved. He walked stiffly, not like someone with a limp or injury, just unnaturally rigid. His arms barely swung. His legs moved like they were on tracks. Every step hit the floor heavy, deliberate, almost mechanical. It creeped me out, but I kept my head down and kept working. Maybe 10 minutes later, my manager asked me to go restock a few things in the back. So I grabbed the cart and headed down the center aisle. And there he was again. Same strange walk, same blank expression. He looked like he was searching for something but had no idea what. Then he saw me and changed direction. He walked straight over and asked, "Where's the soda?" His voice didn't match his face. It was cold, flat, emotionless. No inflection, no natural rhythm. Up close, he looked worse. His skin was smooth, not in a youthful way, more like plastic. His eyes were slightly sunken. Not tired, just empty. And the way he blinked, it wasn't normal. It was slow, deliberate, like someone pretending to blink. I told him it was in aisle 7, just a quick answer. But then he did something that chilled me. He repeated my sentence, word for word. Same pacing, same tone. Then he said, "Thank you." No emotion, no eye contact. He just turned and walked away. I stood there for a moment, watching him disappear behind a shelf. Then I pushed my cart back to the front and told my manager about the guy. She looked confused, said she hadn't seen anyone like that come through. I asked the cashier too. She said she saw someone with a weird walk, but he hadn't bought anything. Just wandered the aisles, then vanished. I haven't stopped thinking about it. I don't know what I saw that night. Maybe it was just a weird guy. Maybe. But his face, it didn't feel like a person's. It felt like a replica. Almost right, but not right. And even now, I can't shake the feeling that whatever he was studying me.